I started with a small studio in Kent probably 15 years ago, and about 10 years ago now I was looking for a building for a bigger place because I'd outgrown my original place. After quite a long time of different buildings, different problems, usually planning issues and stuff like that, I decided that I was no longer going to look for a studio. I was going to go on an extended period of travel. So I started looking at boats, and almost immediately I saw how cheap old cargo ships were. And it occurred to me that I could put a studio in a ship and bring it to London, and that would be easy. In the process of looking at cargo ships, I found the Lightship a bit more complicated to convert, but just a more interesting prospect. Given that we were in a recession, and also with the direction of modern recording technology, it was quite obvious to me that really it needed to be a tracking studio, because that's what people still need and will need, as far as I can see, into the future. Somewhere where you can record drums, maybe a whole band together, loud guitars, different instruments. Right from the beginning, this was going to be a tracking studio, so it needed to have plenty of space, and in fact it's a big ship, so we have quite a big live room and a decent sized control room so people can be comfortable. It was important to me to have a console because I wanted to be able to work quickly. I wanted to be able to record bands live, or at least the bare bones of what they were doing live, and having a console, it gives you the hands-on flexibility to do that, makes it so much quicker and easier. Right from the outset, when I was putting the list of equipment together, I specified the API 1608. It hadn't been around for that long at that time, but I knew it was what I wanted for the studio. And after a couple of years of being open, I was able to bring one in. In my previous studio, I'd had quite a few of the 512 preamps. In the process of hemorrhaging money to build this place, I had to sell them, but I was always going to replace them, which led me to the 1608. I needed something that sounded great for drums and guitars. Most of our clients come from that area, and as a tracking studio, most people are going to want to record drums here. It was really the only decision. I also wanted a simple console, something that's intuitive to use and quite hands-on. Part of the process of choosing a console was to have a name that people would recognize, both producers and hopefully musicians. There aren't that many right at the top, but API was definitely the one I wanted to go for because of its association historically with tracking, and particularly with guitar music and drums. The selling point of the API for the studio is quite easy for producers, people that are already familiar with the brand, and definitely a draw for them to come here and know what they're getting, particularly Americans who are used to this console much more than we are over here. And then musicians, singer-songwriters, now familiar with the 500 series format, also realize that this brand is synonymous with recording bass and guitars and drums. In the last couple of years, we've seen loads of people come here, loads of indie rock bands. We worked with Slaves here, who right from the beginning, when they were just two kids from Tunbridge Wells, and now they're huge. Great for their sound, really punchy, quick and easy to use, and really captured what they were about, which is quite a live thing. But also in contrast, I've been really pleased with its sound for opening up electronic sounds, which you might not think is the best use of a console like this, but I worked with a band called Teeth of the Sea last year who are on their fourth album, but really critically acclaimed, and using loads of electronic sounds as well as some real sounds, real recorded instruments, but it really opens up what comes out of a laptop on multiple channels. The API was the choice for me right from the beginning, and I have no regrets in making that decision. It's always been reliable and produced great results, and I couldn't really ask for anything more.